Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today is my Monday video. Oh my goodness. So what I try to do on Monday is to go over all the projects that I have worked on throughout the week. Some weeks are more spectacular and stunning than others. We know how that goes. But it's always a surprise at what I get accomplished and what's just really close to being done, but I just didn't have enough to put it over the edge. And that's where this one is. There was a lot going on in this week. In my personal life and everything, we had family members moving. Do you like to move? Do you like to pack boxes and sort and organize and get things ready for moving day? No, I do not. No, not at all. So yeah, we had family members moving and that took a lot of energy this week. No, we did not move, but we had family members and we assisted a little, procrastinated a bunch, got grumpy with each other because nothing like bringing a move will really bring out the claws. I'm just saying. Hubby and I have joked throughout the years, military family, we've had the military move us quite a few times. Well, I'm retired from military. I still work. I have a full-time job. But he's also retired. He's actually fully retired. And now, if we are moving or anything along that line, we have to do it ourselves. So the last couple moves, we saved our pennies, if you want to call it that, and we paid other people to move our stuff from point A to point B. I value my husband. I value our marriage a lot more. I don't like to move. He doesn't like to move. So yeah, that took a lot of time and everything, but thankfully, that part is done. There's all the leftover stuff, but at least the big part's done, right? The moving part is done. It has spurred me on to donate more stuff to the thrift store that's mine, my personal things. I have gone to the thrift store this last week twice and donated things, which was just very relieving, very uplifting. It felt absolutely amazing. It's like, you know what? You're not going to wear this again. It's still good. Let somebody else have it. Let it go. Just let it go. And then I had to keep myself from taking things back out of the box and out of the bag because you know how that goes. But I might want it. Woman, you haven't worn it in the last year and a half. It's not going to happen. Maybe that's just me. I get like that. So it was really cool to actually take things and just go, okay, here, take it. There you go. It's just how that works. So that took that may have taken a little bit of my crafting time. So it's really kind of funny. I found that for this week, I worked on what I would call more of the repetitive stuff, more of the knitting the round and round and around and around and around, you know, just not a lot of thought process, not a lot of pattern, or same with crocheting, you know, just crocheting with not a lot of thought process or pattern or something along that line. It's like, I got this, it's easy. Things that didn't get any attention. I have a shawl that I'm working on right now that has cable and lace and it's beautiful. And I only work on it when I have dedicated time and I'm relaxed and I'm not going to have any interruptions because that one takes a little more brain power. So it didn't get the light of day this week. It just didn't. That's just, you know, not everything gets worked on. It's okay. Is that one even right here where oh, that was right here. That's funny. It's sitting right here where it was last week, you know, or the week before. I haven't touched it. This one right here is a gorgeous, it's called Scarflette. It's stunning. I would love to wear this. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. You know, I mean, I've got a little bit done on it. The pattern just continues to where it gets wider. And you see the leaves right here? I think it'll get to like 4 wide. I'm not sure. I don't remember offhand, but it gets wider. But it's not one that I have the brain power to memorize. Some people can do things like this and they'll memorize it and they can go a lot faster. And bless you if you're one of them. I'm not. I have other skills and talents and that's okay, right? You know, just be thankful for the ones that we do have, right? Don't covet somebody else's. Let's be thankful for the ones that we have. So this is stunning and it's just unfortunately been on the back burner for a while. I have the lifelines in, that's what this is, and it's what a lifeline, if you're not familiar, is where you'll thread through, for me, it's a crochet thread, a number 10 crochet thread right here is what this is. I have an abundance of that. And I'll thread it through all the live stitches of the row that I know was a good row. And what I'm doing is doing that at the pattern repeat. So if I make a mistake right anywhere in here and I can't back it out, I can fix a lot of my mistakes in knitting. Not all of them. Lace is finicky. I can fix cables. I can drop down my stitches and fix cables, but this is a combination of lace and cables. And if I were to make a mistake, I would be more towards where I had to pull it out. So at this point, if I made a mistake, I'd have to pull it out to there. And then all of those stitches at that point right here, that's why I'm holding it out because you can't really see it. It's laced through, right? It's light pink. All of those would be on those. It's basically a stitch holder. That's what it is. It's just a big stitch holder. And then I could reinsert my needles, and I know that I put these at the beginning of a pattern repeat. So I would be able to do that. And yeah, I would lose some. I mean, that's a good amount at this pattern with having to really pay attention, but it is what it is. And lifelines, you should use them at the level that you're comfortable with. And what I mean by that is, you can see I have this much for my last lifeline, right? That's a good amount. And if I were to make a mistake at this point and not want to throw this in the trash, and be able to pull it down and everything and use that other lifeline, I'm good. But if it would just demoralize me so much so that I wouldn't want to work with this anymore, I should probably put in lifelines a little more often. You see what I mean? I think as it gets wider, I might put lifelines in maybe at the half a repeat or something along that line, because there's more stitches and, you know, that's a lot more knitting to deal with. So we'll see. But yeah, this, I just, not with the move and everything. No. Concentration, it was all easy stuff. Of course, that being said, one of the things I did get done, and this one I think, I got a chance to get this done because I've been taking a brioche class. I don't have one this week. It's next week is the next one. But I've been taking a brioche class, and it's funny. It's supposed to be about 2 hours, but it's ladies talking. I'm not going to lie. We're having fun. It's knitting. And we've extended the class to 3+. And just, you know, so on the day that the class is, it's work that day, and then the knitting class, and then come home and grab something really quick to eat or whatever, and it's pretty much bedtime. That's just, but I'm okay with that. So I got this done, the brioche hat. This was my pattern practice. Not the hat itself wasn't the practice. What was the practice is doing 2-color brioche down here. We were practicing casting on and working 2 colors of brioche in the round. So that's what I had down here. And then I started to work through my book, and I grabbed a pattern, and this wasn't it. What I grabbed and what I got on the thing are 2 separate things. But this coral looking pattern, there is one like that in the book, but that's not what my intention was when I started it. You know what I'm getting at? But it is pretty. So when I got about there, the next class we were going to be working on binding off, and I wasn't ready to bind off yet. I mean, I got that far, and it did look like a hat, and you know, I'd practice. Why not turn it into something useful? Isn't that why when we do like a swatch, whether it's knitting or crochet, if you're doing like a small square or something along that line, you can turn it, depending on the yarn, you can turn it into washcloth, face scrubby, or whatever, so that even that swatch can be used. So that's what I did here. I've made a lot of hats over the years, so I already knew how to do some decreases. So I did that, and that wasn't a pattern, but I did that and did some decreases and continued on with that brioche style that the class was teaching me. So that's why this got done. Now, if it was an exact pattern that I was following, that's another story. For that matter, I haven't picked out my class project, if I end up doing that, because the charts, they're large. Even the smaller ones are big. And I just, especially this last week, it's like, no, that's brain power. This flowed, and it kind of was a pattern, but not really. So that's why I was able to get that done. But if it were, hey, Shannon, sit down. You're going to make this hat, cast on these stitches and do this. Not so sure this last week. So I'm really happy. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? That is adorable. I'm still debating. I mean, I've got a granddaughter that's not quite 2, right? You know, that I know this would fit. But I could also add ribbing to the bottom, just attach the yarn, add some ribbing, just regular, not brioche, but just plain ribbing to extend the hat a little bit. And then it would be more towards the adult size. Cause you know, I mean, there you go. So then it would fit my 8-year-old granddaughter if I were to do that, because it is very stretchy. I'm really proud. This is my 2nd ever 100% fully brioche project. I've used brioche in one of the Stephen West shawls. I don't remember which one it was, Exploration Station or Rockefeller. One of those has brioche in it, and I did it there, and it was not a problem. It was 2-color, and it was just the same stuff right down at the bottom. It wasn't a lot of crazy maneuvers. You weren't doing a lot of increasing and decreasing like I've got right here. But so yeah, my 2nd ever brioche project. Yay! That's just really cool. And if I weren't in the class, I wouldn't have gotten that done. Oh no, that took a little bit more brain power. It's not hard. It's not hard, but it's different. And it's not what I'm used to, right? So I'm out of that comfort zone. And this week was all comfort zone. I'm not going to lie. It was all comfort zone. So that was one thing finished. The other thing that I got finished, I have been following an author, a designer on Ravelry, and regourd. Don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. Do apologize. She's putting out 52 blanket squares this year, and they're free for 1 week only. There you go. So you want to make sure that you go follow her and everything. But this is number 10. So I got that done. And this one lays flatter. I haven't blocked this one yet, but it does lay flatter than some of the other ones that really did need the blocking. This will still need some, you know, light blocking, but you had double yarn overs, you had right twists and left twists, and my squares are about 16.5 inches square. I'm using a worsted weight yarn in size 8 needles. She does not use that for hers, and they're about 12 inches, but that's okay. You make the square however you want to with whatever yarn you have. I have a lot of the big twist value yarn. Joanne put some on sale. We'll talk about that later. That's a whole other topic. So I do have this. I'm really enjoying this. This is my 5th square that I have completed, and I'm already in my mind deciding what I want to do with these and how I want to put them together. I'm still trying to figure out with that, if I'm using the squares, I'm going to have to use other things as fillers, or it'll just be big blankets and I can use 9 squares or whatever, right? You know, I can do whatever I want to on that, and it'll just be a larger blanket. But if I wanted to do 4, do I make 4 different colors? I mean, right now I've used 5 different colors, right? And I have 5 squares, 5 different colors. Do I use 4 different colors and then something in the middle and then on the cross hatch and everything, and maybe going around to where you got the 4 squares that are framed with something else? And then I was thinking that something else, I really like the idea of doing crochet granny squares and have the knit panes, right? The 4 different colors of knitting, right? And then have that surrounded by granny squares, or not necessarily the traditional granny square, but maybe a flower with the granny square. You know what I'm getting at, right? You know, so people use granny square as kind of like a generic term, but now they do. When I grew up, it was very definite meaning, but doing something along that line and adding a lot extra color and everything. I don't know, my brain is just churning with just some amazing options as far as that. Since I have 5 of these already, I'm going to continue to make them and let my brain do its thing, and then I'll come up with something and how I want that to be. So those were my finished projects. Really pleased with getting these done. That's a big amount of knitting. That's half of a skein of a big twist value. I can get 2 squares out of 1 full skein. So that's a good amount of knitting. It is. That's a good amount. So those were my finished projects. I have some other things that are close to being finished, and if I would have just stuck with those, I could have gotten them done. But I bounce. That's all there is to it. I bounce from one thing to the other. That's all right. So the other one, and I just kind of dropped it over here when I grabbed that shawl, I have this. This right here is, as I lean over somewhere, it's a tapestry crochet bag. And I got This is some of the yarn that I got in one of my mystery yarn challenges. Oh, it's so nice. So just gorgeous. Look at this. Look at the way that pattern is. So that's doing extended single crochet. And I am so close to being done with this. I think I have right here. This is the end of the pattern colors right here. That's it. And it's just finishing it off. I've got about that much more crochet, and then making straps for it, deciding if I want to put a stabilizer in the base, and determining, do I want to make a liner for it or leave it as is. You know, if you leave it as is and you use it, it's gonna stretch down like this, right? As you put things in it, it will stretch that way. But if you put a base stabilizer in it, your bag is going to be more like that. You'd keep that as a circle in the bottom and stabilized. And there are pieces that, I've put it away. You can get round circular things that I had for the what is that, cross stitch? Yeah, canvas crochet, canvas, yeah, plastic canvas. There you go. Holy cow. But you can get that, and I've got a circle that's about that size that I could stitch down in there to add some stabilization. And the pattern has you like this, and you end up with putting drawstrings from here to here all the way through on both sides. And it is absolutely adorable. So I am so close to finishing this. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I mean, do you see that? It's like that much, and put some drawstring on it. Oh, I know, decisions, that's why. Yeah, so this is so close. And I learned a new skill. I did. I got to play a lot this week between the brioche, honing up on something that I haven't really done in, you know, quite a few years. And then this, I'd not done the tapestry crochet before. And I'm not going to lie, all these pattern stitch books that they have right now, they have a lot of Fair Isle, knitting dictionaries, crochet, tapestry crochet, Tunisian crochet. All of them are grids. You can read the instructions, but if you look at the pattern themselves, they're just square grids. And they'll have a different symbol in it or what have you, you know, and then it'll be different colors. But you can use whatever craft you know how to do and use those grids. So I'm thinking about that with this, with the tapestry crochet. I might get a couple of those books or pull out some more of my other books where I have Fair Isle patterns and things like that and do that, because that right there was a lot of fun. And I can see a lot of different uses as far as that. And, you know, let's play. Let's do both. We've got it. We can crochet. We can knit. We can do it all. We're talented. We are a very talented group of people. All there is to it. So that was so close. But yeah, not gonna. So the next one, I got my little list down here. Yeah, I got something else really close. Now, I think last week when I showed this, I had tail feathers. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm talking about the emotional support chicken. And no, it's not done. It's not done. It's not. But you can recognize it as a chicken. Look at that. Oh my gosh, is that cute? Look. And I've got safety eyes. So here's one. I don't know where the other one went. Grandkids were here. This is good. I don't know. But that's okay. I've got a couple of boxes, or, you know, little containers of them. So look, see? Oh, isn't that cute? That is adorable. I love the blue that I've used. So what I need to do now is put the comb on here, which the red here, and the wattle right here. So I do need to make those two pieces. I didn't realize when I got this done, I'm like, yes, all I have to do is sew it together and stuff it. No, there was another piece. This piece. This is the gusset. Yeah, this is here, and it gets, I have a lot of ends. That's okay, it's a stuffed thing, so you can stick those on the inside. Something like right here, and it gets sewn down, kind of gives that base and makes it into that fat chicken. So I have this, two small pieces that I need to do, and then sew it together. I wasn't ready to sew. Did I mention my week? Yeah, it wasn't a bad week. It was just a busy week. And I didn't want to fiddle with this. I liked the knitting part. I liked the making part, and I love the way the pattern goes. So you've got that, you're making the tail feathers in two pieces, and then this is really cool. You can either sew it, or if you know how to crochet, I do. So that's just single crocheted right there, because that's part of the design element, is to make that seam seen. right? That's on the front side. You want that to be seen. And then you've got your stripes, and you can stripe it how you want to. They have suggestions in the pattern. I love the fact that I use that really bright blue. I think it's fantastic. So I have my pieces. I just have to sew it all together. I give myself a pass on this one not being done. The other one, I should have gotten it done. That would have been a lot easier. This one, the reason I'm saying that is I have to be ready to sew it together. I mean, anytime you make a stuffed something, you can make it or break it in the completion, those final steps. Those make it really cute or really quirky. I tend to make a lot of things really quirky. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm happy with this. I think it's adorable. I have other ideas in the works for chickens. I don't even have this one done. And I'm like, I want to make another one. There's somebody, I don't know if I saw it or I just read it, right? You know how that goes. Sometimes you don't remember. So with fingering weight yarn, yes, please. I have a lot of scraps of fingering weight yarn. Just do it double. So you're still going to use the bigger needles. I made this, it's a worsted weight. I use size 5s because it is stuffed and you know, you want to make it to where the stuffing doesn't come through. But I have a lot of leftover fingering weight yarn. I could do doubled with that on size 5s, and then one color, maybe a solid color or something for the stripes or what have you. I could do that. That would be fun. And each one would be really unique, a lot of character, and yeah, I'm thrilled with this. And you know, these weren't, making the pieces, it wasn't difficult. And there are a lot of people out there who are doing crocheted ones too. So you can find patterns also. If you crochet and you want to get in on the craze, there's crochet ones. If you only knit and you want to get in on the craze, there's knit ones. And Jackie from Crochet ADHD, she did, I think like on her Centro machine or Addy machine, you know, those knitting machines that do just a circle. So you can do that. You can have your circle fabric piece and stitch it together in such a way, change your colors and everything to where it looks like a chicken. And she has done that. She gave hers to Linan from Nina's Knots and Crochet. And I think everyone's been trying to strong arm her, coerce, ask her very nicely to do a tutorial on those. But what I'm saying is you can get creative. Jackie doesn't knit, but she's got the knitting machine. So she has a knit chicken that she gave away. So you can do either. You can come up with all sorts of ways, whatever craft you know how to do. If you want to make a chicken, you can make a chicken. That's it. You know, nobody's leaving you behind. If you can crochet and you can't knit, you can still make a chicken. If you can knit and you can't crochet, you can still make a chicken, right? If you want to. And then, oh, that's the other thing. I don't have it with me. I should go get it. That's okay. I'll be fine. So we went into Murdoch's, which is like, you know, a feed store, and it's all sorts of things. It's a country store, right? And the chicks are hatched right now. So you know, so they've got the chick event. So you can go into the store, and when you walk in, you can hear the baby chicks. Beep, 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 beep. You can hear all of those. It is so cute. So we went over and we looked at him, and you know, my husband's like, I'd really like to, but have we talked about that? I have a feral dog that would just, yeah, there's that. I mean, he's feral, he's cute. But I'm also in an HOA community. My yard is plenty big enough. My area is plenty big enough. I've got plenty of space, but you know, HOAs rule the world or something like that, or they make sure that you can't use your property. But it was pretty cool, you know. So then, of course, you know, I'm like, I have to finish my emotional support chicken because I don't get any chickens. I can't have a chicken anymore. I mean, come on now. So I'm close. I'm hoping the next time you see this, it will be stuffed and done and adorable, and then I'll be able to take pictures and everything and give it to my daughter. She's looking forward to getting that. I already told her that's hers. So there you go. And then the other thing that I put a lot of time into this week is my husband's blanket. And the reason being on that one is once it was in the evening and we were done doing all the things that we were going to do, I could just have this sitting on me. And it's a project I didn't have to think about. I already knew what the pattern was. Not a problem. There's no decisions. There's no shaping. There's nothing. It's just basket weave, right? 10 knit stitches, 10 purl stitches, repeat, knit, purl, that's it, right? And I did get a lot done on it. In all aspects, as far as I'm moving the stuff that's sitting on top of it, it looks the same to anyone else. It's just longer. But yeah, I did. I got a bit much or a bit more on this. So let me see if I can even stand up. But yeah, it's grown quite a bit. So really enjoying that. I think it's like 33-ish inches or 34. That should be about 34 inches now. I haven't measured it in a bit. But each basket weave pattern is about 2 inches. So that's what I'm saying. It's about 33, 34 inches. I think, was I in this area or was I still on the brushed color last time we talked? But this is, I'm working on 40 rows right here. That's what that is. And this yarn is the Fair Isle Wool Ease. It's an 80% acrylic, 20% cotton. Or 20% wool. It's a wool acrylic. There's no cotton in it. It's a wool acrylic. Joanne had that at a ridiculously ridiculous sale, and I took advantage. That's a good way to put it. So I'm pairing that up with the Red Heart brushed acrylic. First time I've used it, and it's working fine. And I've had this laid out on my lap, and it is just such a beautiful, comfortable lap blanket right now. It's so snuggly, it's soft. So I spent a lot of hours just putting in stitches on this. It's approximately 60 inches wide, and I think the goal, I think my husband wants it about that 90 range. So we'll see as I progress and everything and toss it over him as I'm working on it, if I can maybe make it 72 and he'll be happy. I looked up sizing charts. 60 by 72 is a throw. 60 by 90 is twin size. So we'll see. He's 6'1". He wanted it longer that he could, cover his head, cover his feet, and whatever. If that's what he wants, I'll continue. I have plenty of yarn. Did I mention I might have taken advantage of the sale? I think the Wool Ease right here, it's normally $9.99. Either on the Wool Ease site or Joanne, and they had it on a good sale at Joanne, and then I was able to stack another coupon on it or something. I think I ended up like $3.75 a skein, and I took advantage. And those are big skeins. And then I went, what am I going to do with all of that? I mean, yeah. So I got 3 colors. I got this one. It's the Merlot Charcoal. I got the Taupe Gray, which is the mustards and the gray, or mustards and taupe, which I like. And then I also got the lilac or the purple. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the purples, and it's the same yarn. So I have plenty to make multiple blankets, or as I started working with this, it was really good as a wrap too. Right now, hubby's quite happy because I believe that I'm past the wrap stage, so it's just, such a shawl area. I mean, like, so it's got it's past my wingspan. It's got a good amount on it. Depending on how big he wants it, I'm a little over a third. And I'm thrilled with this one too. This is another one that's outside of my comfort zone, so to speak. Yes, I knit. Yes, I crochet. It's going to happen. I'm going to continue to knit and crochet as long as the good Lord allows me to. I'm going to continue. But I've not knit a full-size throw like this before, this twin size. Trust me, I've knit enough, I've crocheted enough to make bedspreads and blankets and things along that line. But that doesn't mean I've made that object. I've made a lot of blankets, smaller blankets, kids blankets, which if you want to sew those up, they'd add up to that twin size. But this is the first intentional knit adult size blanket that I'm working on. And it's a gut check. It's beautiful and I'm enjoying it. But it's one of those that it takes a little bit of stick-to-itness, right? It's not any harder than any other knitting project. It's not any harder, same with my crochet things that I'm working on. Those aren't any harder. It's just, it takes a little longer. You have to be determined to work on it. So it got a lot of attention this week because I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to wind any yarn. My personal sweater that I'm working on for me, I have to go wind the next ball of yarn. which is the state that it was in last week. So I haven't wound the yarn, and it hasn't gotten any love because I need to wind the yarn. So there is that. So I have to wind in a yarn. The ball was right there and ready. It was already on the needles. I didn't have to think about any pattern shaping, any, you know, necklines. We're doing some other different treatments. No, it's just an established, easy pattern. You know, it's a bit too much to be in car knitting right now, unless, of course, you know, we're colder and we're traveling, right? But it's, you know, it's at that level as far as difficultness, right? In the car projects, whether it's crochet or knitting, I prefer smooth sailing. That's just easy. That's just, you know, mindless. That's what this is. So it got a lot of love because of that, because it was just at that mindless state. It was, and it's grown. It has really grown. So I'm really thrilled with that. I think the last time we talked, I think it was either 26 or 27 inches, and right now it's 33 to 34. So that's a good chunk to have gotten done. So really thrilled with all of that. Here's to next week being just massive productivity. I got in new mystery yarn challenge yarns, and oh my goodness, you know, the colors that Elaine sent me, it was, she's watched the channel, so she knows the oranges and things like that, and it's just a box of 70s glorious. I mean, it's just stunning, and hopefully this coming week you will see some fun and exciting things that I'm going to do with that yarn, because it screams that it needs to be on the needles and it needs to be on the hooks and it needs to be made into something stunning right now. And I think this week it's going to be smooth sailing. I think that everything's just going to be relaxed. I'm putting it out there. That I'm saying it. It's going to happen. I'm saying it, right? You can say it to yourself too. Say it out loud. Say it with me. This week is going to be absolutely amazing. All sorts of good things are going to happen. You don't have to know what it is right now. It's okay. But good things are going to happen. You're going to feel absolutely amazing. You're going to accomplish things. At the end of the week, you might be tired. That's okay. But you're going to feel accomplished. I know I'm going to feel accomplished. And I don't even know what I'm going to feel accomplished on yet. But I'm going to feel accomplished. It's going to happen. So with that, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.